Well, Linda invited me, and she's been a good friend, and I wasn't sure what I was going to get, coming here. And it's funny, but Saturday I called my dad just to check on him. He lives with me. He came back to live with me last June. So earlier when we were doing the session and I was sitting up here, Robert told me to send the love to him, right? And I'm thinking, that's kind of, woo-woo, I guess with the word I would use. And it's funny, I called Dad at break afterwards, and he was lively and chatty, and he just got hearing aids like 2 weeks ago, and the man's been deaf. I mean, you could walk in the room, he couldn't hear you. And he was just, how you doing, when you coming home, and Saturday when I called him, he was kind of like, really down. I could listen to where he was at. And today he was just so lively, and full of energy. So I can send that. So I text my daughter and send her some love and hugs and kisses for her and the grandkids. And she sent me the love back. So, I get like there is woo-woo out here. And, this is a magical chair. If
Are you trying to say I'm woo-woo? I'm not an airy fairy.
I'm saying there's stuff out here that, as a human being, I really don't believe in, and I get surprised all the time. So I got really surprised this weekend, and my dad and I have a really great relationship, but I still we got a better relationship out of this weekend because I'm willing to give up, he was a bad father and he didn't love me, and he didn't help me and all that stuff. And, not having that in my head makes a big difference for everybody else, too. So y'all get the love and Jimbo now. So thank you.
Oh, here I am again. I had a really good time this weekend. I went into a really bad space, but Robert pulled me right out of it. And I am coming back again. I feel cleaner and lighter. I'm able to sleep better at night. I don't have to have that TV going to drown out the stuff that we've been tapping out. And somebody who told me, you did, about going to sleep at night, falling asleep at night, and she knows somebody that taps all the stuff that comes up. I thought that's a great idea because that's when my stuff comes up. Why I couldn't go to sleep. I mean, look what happened when I did try to go to sleep. Somebody showed up every night. So, I always had to have something to drown it out. But I don't have to do that now. I just play my nice little woo-woo music. And I don't have all the old stuff going on anymore because with this tapping it out, it's not there to bother me anymore. And so, it just gets better and better. My hips do feel better after this tapping session. I don't feel... Just letting go of all that stuff. It was so heavy and so daunting. And I've been working on it for years, but boy, I feel lighter and brighter, and I'm so glad I came back. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
My background, I'm a naturopath doctor, and I want to share something really profound. You don't even have to understand the verbiage you have to say. I have a cousin in Hong Kong, and I communicate with her through Skype video. And I knew she lost her dog, but I didn't know how depressed she was. And I was treating her with skin problems, and I thought I will call her and do tapping on the skin problems. And then she just boohooed in front of me in the video. And she was saying, I miss my dog, I think I killed him, and all that kind of stuff. And I immediately just tapped. Now, I didn't know anything about the tapping. I watch you through YouTube. I learned so much from you from YouTube. And I learned the other EFT, so I mix it all together, And I didn't know I was doing faster EFT or just EFT. I don't even know what I was doing, but I knew it was just going to work. So I told her, and understand she doesn't speak English. So I had to translate the English to the Chinese, and I got tongue-tied all the way. And I said, okay, just don't say anything. Just follow me. I do the talking. You do the tapping, okay? And I start asking a rating for the scale of 1 to 10, how much pain she's feeling. She said, my pain is here and all the way on my back. My whole body feel the pain, and it's not 10, it's 15. And she's been suffering that for a whole month already, and her family is trying to tell her, you got to go see a doctor, you can't live like this. So I immediately tapped her, okay, and it lasted almost an hour on the video cam. And the pain went from 15 all the way down to 5, okay, right in front of my eyes. And she said, wow, it's a lot better now, And then I get to joke with her, and then she started laughing. Now, and then later on, I said, I tell her, just keep tapping, every day when you feel the pain, keep tapping. So I found that kitty, the lady that her kitty died, remember that one? And I copy and paste and tell her, watch this one. Now, I understand she doesn't understand English, right? But she knew that is a death of a pet. So she following that tapping pictures. She didn't say anything. She's just following tapping. She said her pain is down to 1. So sometimes it's not even the words. You have to believe it can work, and it'll work.
Yeah, very good.
So I'd like to share that with you.
Well, I just want to thank you for this life-changing experience. And I realize now that this is sort of like an emotional and spiritual car wash. You just go in and you come out. I realize that my relationship with my precious dad has affected my whole life and many, many, many of my decisions, good and bad. I am so thankful for FasterEFT, and I thank you, Robert, because I'm hopeful to change the lives of my children and the mistakes I've made with them by helping them understand that it can be different. And my little grandchildren who I see things in, and I'm so grateful to have these skills, and I just want to thank you for this opportunity. God bless you, and I'll be praying for you. Thank you.
Robert, I want to thank you not only for you and for everything that you've done, but when at the break I was talking to Linda, and when this beautiful lady was up here, part of that pain came back to me about my dad. And so I became really tired. I have this thing where I get headaches. I've had them since a little child. And my eyes were dragging. I couldn't hardly see. I was so tired. And I just happened to mention it to Linda. And this is the wonderful thing is that you've got people who are learning this to help others. And just for myself, she just started to tap with me. And I remember I looked in her eyes and I thought, this isn't ever going to work. I mean, here I'd already been up here, but the skeptic in me, is saying, it's not going to work. Not for me. And we continued, and the pain started to disappear. My eyes got stronger and better, even though I consciously, absolutely, after everything that you saw here and I was a part of, I still didn't believe. And so I want to say you don't even have to believe, because the conscious mind is so, silly sometimes. And in the middle of this wonderful thing with Linda, because our subconscious is so rich, when I was telling her now the pain's gone, but I've got a little bit of this dizziness, so we started tapping out the dizziness, and all of a sudden I saw myself in this wonderful memory of a teacup, in Disneyland, where you're safe. You can have this dizziness, but it's this fun, safe experience. And I feel like so many times I have so little childhood memories, that are happy and safe. But Disneyland, you can have all kinds of adventures, you can have so much fun, and you're safe, unlike my life. And so I was given a very precious gift with Linda. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank Linda, and everyone who is deciding to take this journey to help others. It's been a really wonderful experience, and I love you. I thank you.
Also grateful to everyone here, because you have shown me so much love, and just, coming up to me and hugging me. Like Bill, he's the best hugger. And Robert, I just want to thank you so much for caring, for just giving me your love. And I don't know what changes I'm going to go through, but I know they're going to be fantastic. And I'm going to keep in touch with you and let you know all the changes that I'm having. God bless you and everyone else.
Robert, I don't know how many we've done of these, but probably 15, 20 or more. I think I was at Robert's second or third one. And about the time I think I've tapped on everything, cleared everything out, I come to one of these, and I find all kinds of layers of things still there. And some things came up today. I mean, it didn't bring me to tears, but I went, wow, I didn't know that was an issue. And when I'm listening to you guys' issue and I'm tapping it, sometimes it's not what you guys are working on, but I'm tapping along with you. I'll remember something that I didn't know it was a sabotaging program that I was still working, that was still in the background. And so I got a lot out of this. I came yesterday, I could only be here about an hour, and I came because I was taking on a new business on top of doing the radio, and I was just stressed. I felt like I was juggling chainsaws for about 2 or 3 weeks. And while tapping along with you guys, I thought I would come in here today to work on that, but it was already gone, just tapping along with you guys. And so, though I never got to tap exactly on that. So I encourage you guys to continue to come, even if you don't think you have the same issues that brought you here, because you'll find all kinds of release. I mean, this is extremely cathartic and releasing for me. Even, how long have we been doing this, Robert? How long? I came to you about your second one. When did you start? 2002, yeah, and probably 2 or 3 a year or more, yeah. So you'll continue to do this, and now that you've been generous enough to, most people would be charging us to go onto YouTube to have access to that and to be able to tap along with it. So, I mean, that's like a daily meditation. Just go onto YouTube and tap on a couple programs and keep doing that. And it's just transforming. So I have a lot to thank you for, Robert, but I'm one of these apex guys. I forget where I was on different issues. I remember I couldn't even go over and do the radio show by myself without feeling I needed my partners to do it. And that was a big issue that I kept getting you to help me with. And now it seems so ridiculous. I don't remember ever feeling that way. And the first time I came to Robert, I was trying to tell this girl, this friend of mine, this problem that Robert had, that I worked on when I was at Roberts. And I went, now what was that problem? It was like he literally found the erase button, the delete button on the tape recorder, and I couldn't remember what the problem was, and it was such an issue for weeks. And so it is amazing. You've now found where the erase button is, and so just start erasing all the things that bother you and put in all the things you want. So it is an amazing thing. So I owe Robert a lot, and I sometimes forget how much I owe him. So thank you, Robert.
I just remembered that I've only seen about 5 of your sessions on YouTube. Well, last week, I have a neighbor that's 81 years old, and so I go to his house and visit him every morning. I take him a little smoothie so that he can eat right, and so he's starting to move around a little bit more. Well, I went to his house last week. It was about 7:30 in the morning, and he couldn't breathe. He was sitting in his chair, and he was like, I can't breathe. So I just said, okay, I don't know what to do here, but I'm going to do something. So I just put my hand on his chest. I said a little prayer, and I said, I'm going to do some FasterEFT. So I went like 3 rounds, and then he could breathe again. And he was like, Dee, you saved my life. You saved my life. And I said, no, I didn't. I think it was God. And he goes, no, it was you. And I said, okay, I'll take it. But I didn't know what I was doing, but just by looking at YouTube like 5 different times, and I just did it. And of course he didn't believe, but that's okay. It worked.
I just want to say some more. Once I found out about you, I was every evening, 2-3 hours, I was on all of your YouTubes. And because of that, I like to share things, and I copy and paste all your YouTubes to all my friends. And my daughter in London, I told her about it, but she didn't go to your session. But she said some issue, I do that. And I did have some friends in Singapore, I did that. And of course, the Hong Kong. I'm telling you, they're all a lot far from me, but I was using your technique, and I really, really appreciate your your generosity that willing to share with so many people. And Dee and Carolyn was, they're my friends and also my clients. And I asked them, I said, next time when we come back, I'm not bringing you two. You have to bring someone else. I'll bring somebody new. And so we will have 3 cars to come here to bring someone else over here. So